Unite Win Podcast, episode 24. Don't have to ask. I know you want some more. Brandon will be back soon. I know you haven't even gotten through this one. It's just the beginning. It's just the intro to the interview, but it's a good one. I promise you. We talked the tattoo industry ins and outs, went off on our tangents, and there's a lot of inside baseball. This might be a hard one to follow, but it is a deep cut. And if you're a tattooer, this listen is a must. It'll help you kind of reevaluate your place within this thing and where you want to go and what side of history you want to be on within tattooing. I don't want to spill too much beans. I don't want to say too much. Just sit tight and listen. And yeah, you're welcome. Without further ado, the Brandyn Feldman interview.
I mean, we can get into the weeds with it. Like, I think it's all going to kind of come out, like what's going on. Like, you know, there's a couple groups, you know, in my opinion, like one's probably fucking up pretty bad. It's the one that I was with.
Yep.
Just because like they don't really have like, everyone's gone.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's gone from it. And it's like, there was like this narrative while I was there and I was like fucking pissed about it all the time.
Yeah.
It was like the narrative of like trying to restructure the way I guess these people thought tattooing should look. But there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Like tattooing should look however it's going to look, you know, for that individual, you know, sect or person or whatever. Like it doesn't even matter really if you really like focus super into it. The only thing that matters about tattooing is the one that's being applied in that little shop in that town somewhere in the world, and when that person walks away with the tattoo, that's really all that matters. That just kind of combines together and like produces the business of tattooing.
Right.
But it's like an amenity. Like tattooing, like the gossip and like the friendships and like the drama and all the stuff, that to me is just like this amenity that comes along with it, because it's really truly like the greatest thing of tattooing. Like if you ever go to a convention you're like, fuck, that was the best weekend ever, it's because you were with people that you really enjoyed, loving the same thing, and you know you made enough money to like, you know, buy a Brazilian steak or whatever, you know,
right, yeah.
Or whatever, you know, and that's what it's all about right there. But that's the amenity, right? But really, if you focus deeply onto it, really it's just, you know, you put that little tiny kanji or whatever it is on that person, send them away happy. That is tattooing, right? That's the value. Even if you put it on with a dildo pen, you know, the lines are probably going to be shaky and it will fall out tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. Like I remember like being at that group, and I remember the guy that was the CEO at the time, the first guy. He was like, "I want you to invent a tattoo machine that has like little bladders of ink, and like you can press a button and then like it changes the color of ink and then it like injects, and you never have to dip into one of those stupid little cups again." I was like, that's like, I can't unhear what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, and I like a challenge, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's dumb. No, the little cap is a great thing.
Yeah.
The cap is fine. You know, it's so archaic. I mean, breathing out of your lungs is archaic.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we've been doing it for a while now. Should we rethink how our lungs work? Fuck, man. Like, so it's sometimes you get that, like, especially like there's not a lot in tattooing that you can like revolutionize really. You can like kind of tweak and like make things a little nicer or like solve problems. It's definitely a possibility. It's all over the place, but you can't reinvent the wheel, man. Like, what did I say? I said it in a video a long time ago. I heard this from a tattoo artist actually. He's like, don't reinvent the wheel, just keep it polished. Have we kept it polished? I don't know that we have. Some people have, some people haven't. But have we as a group kept it polished? It doesn't need to change. Tattoos look great if they're applied with whatever, you know. What does it matter? Like this new, what is like a new thing matter? Like, how about we just keep the thing polished? If every tattooer was like kind of busy and like not worried right now, that's keeping it polished.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if you've got an ink cap that looks like a dick or a butthole or like a skull or like a tree or whatever, you know? Like, oh, here, check out my new fucking ink cap, dude. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, it could just be a round one. How about if we throw it away, it doesn't really fuck the environment up? Like, that's like the innovation right there. Like, that's it. It could just be a little circle. Maybe not a super hard material, because sometimes, you know, you hit the cup, you know? And if it's HDPE or something like that, you know, it might not scar the needles up. But definitely look. You should definitely look. How many tattooers out there hit the side of the wall and didn't look?
Me.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
You got to look, dude.
All day. I find out.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So, all right. So, like, there's a contradiction in what we're talking
Someone
about.
sees you not look, too, by the way. It's the tattoo graybeard. Knows that you didn't look.
Maybe every time I long dick the bottom of that ink cap is where I've gotten the gray in my beard.
Maybe.
Those are like the karmic debts of long dick in the needle to the bottom.
Maybe I'm like weird, but sometimes like if I do it and I don't look, I'm like, I wonder if Owen Jensen or like, you know, like Paul Rogers is like fucking dick.
You think
know,
so?
like, yeah.
They might be running that same needle till fucking it's curled over at a certain point.
Just run it harder, it'll resharpen itself.
Yeah, that's like you polish it in the skin, right?
You know, like the dudes, like the Indian dudes, like that have like the shoes that like go like this.
Yeah,
that's most people's needles.
Yeah, exactly. I see that. What's the number they say the industry is at per year? What is that number? It's $1 billion. What's the thing?
No, it's definitely over $1 billion. It's probably like 2 or 3 billion. I remember when they would run those reports. They'll take a tally of like how much tattoo artists are like bringing in the door, and then like munge it together.
But here's the thing: those numbers, the tattoo industry, that is a $1 billion industry, we'll say. Yeah. That is not. People think. The tattoo industry is not me. I mean, I own a needle company. I'm not a good example. The tattooer in the shop is not the tattoo industry. That money's not going to them. That money is them paying them. The industry is not.
But tattooing. They want to know.
It's tattoo supplies.
Yeah. But the reason a study like that is done is because they're gonna budget. They're gonna forecast. They're gonna make assumptions.
Right, for sure.
They're gonna want to know like what the map looks like. What's the revenue map look like? Like how much can we sell?
But these tattooers are consumers, right? They're buying heart-shaped ink caps, dick-shaped ink caps. They're buying more shit than they're even like producing tattoos with, right?
Exactly. Well, that stuff is
novelty.
That stuff is just the like spike sale. Like there's all this fucking little balls under cups and shit that you can do.
But it's all the spike sales, these like innovations of putting a direct drive in a pipe and calling it a pen. Ooh, wow, spike sales. It's all built on bullshit and the idea of new and exciting and tattooing made easy. All I'm saying is this industry, it's $1 billion industry. I don't know one tattooer that's a fucking billionaire. And if it's bigger than ever, why is everyone broker and hurting more than ever? This tattoo income inequality, this industry is not serving you and me. That's what I'm saying.
100%. Like, and that's where kind of like the rubber hits the road, right? Like, look, running a business, you got to pay attention to your revenue.
Yep.
You're in business to make money.
Yep.
Period. So you talked about tattooing having a slow, even though there's not really a slow. Plenty of people are getting tattooed.
Right.
And they've got all these people on Instagram now that are like telling you how to like market and all that, and that's good. Like you should market and everything, because that's like you have to, right? You got to tell your story.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, we're doing it right now.
Absolutely.
We're doing it right now. So, but it's just a story. You tell a story, and it, someone's gonna find you hopefully and want to get that tattoo from you hopefully. But yeah, to speak on what I think you're trying to get at. If the supply companies don't help support the the business that they're in and they suck it dry, that's going to hurt tattooing. And it kind of is, I would say. I can't give you a definitive point of where that's happening, but it definitely is happening.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening. And also keep in mind, like, the small supplier is going to take a hit too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those folks get the stuff from the big supplier.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so, you know, if there's a problem in that chain, you know, the shit is going to roll downhill, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I've like I was urging while I was there, like, please, can we do this? Please, can we do that? And I just never really got heard. I mean, to be honest with you.
How did you get wrapped up in that to begin with?
I knew a guy that started a ding dong supply company. I don't like the name. I'm not going to say the name. You
Fair
can
enough.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But he entered into a deal. I can talk in cryptic and you can figure it out. You
Okay.
just figure it out.
Let's do that. It's exciting.
Yeah. He had started it in like, I think 99 or something, and grew it, and it made a bunch of money. And I think they wanted to have someone come in and like, I think a lot of times when you fantasize about like a company coming and buying your company, and a lot of times, like, if you're going to take investment, like, you want to partner with someone that can help.
Absolutely.
Or you just want to sell it and walk away, which is a great thing to do.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll never sell another one, probably. But if I were to sell another company, I'm fucking walking away.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, your fucking tail gets chopped off and you have to live with it.
Yeah, it's kind
It's
of
just constantly chop,
Yeah.
chop, 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 until you're like, man, I fucking hate this place. I hate you.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no compromise, because like, you were the shot caller and now you're no longer the shot caller.
Right.
You know? So, anyway, I knew this guy. I said no a few times. He kind of like painted the picture right. I saw opportunity. I was naive to it because now I know a lot about it. Ask me now.
Yeah.
You're getting punched,
Yeah.
you know, but maybe not. Maybe it's just hit with like a stick or something. But yeah, like, it seemed like a good thing. You know what you do, or in my case, you sell the company and then you invest a bunch of the money that you just made back into the thing, because it's like the bigger picture.
Yeah, you
like,
believe
now
in it.
you're like a big team.
You got sold on it, so you're like, all right, I'm gonna buy in too.
Yeah. And I feel that I invested quite a bit of money. So
Yeah.
I definitely was in on it. Like, I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And then like little things started to present themselves that were like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, that happened a lot. And I'm like, no. We're not gonna do that. We don't want to do that. And when you start saying like, we should not be doing this, you start saying it and they start to not like you very much.
And is this just more people coming in, more growth, more?
Well, the group started buying more companies.
Okay.
And now it becomes big, and it got big. I mean, it was written up in Reuters. You can go check it out in 23. I think it's like August of 23. That thing was going to sell for over $1 billion, which you take the EBITDA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you times that by a multiplier. If you're got a healthy business, it's kind of like if you've got like a really nice portfolio, where like you've got some money invested in like maybe like real estate, like maybe some REITs. It's like a way to invest in real estate, but without buying a full house,
Right.
Or property, whatever. Maybe you've got like some Vanguard. You got a bunch of stuff. It's like spread out real nice.
Yep.
And now your net worth become a little more valuable. You're a little bit better looking. It kind of the same thing a little bit. Like, every time you like take a company, like you acquire a company, now their EBITDA becomes your EBITDA. And then now it's like, oh yeah, like, let's put this one on and that one. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Now we make this and we make that. And in actuality, it makes a lot of sense, because it's like,
Right.
all right, we make this and we make this. Oh shit, we're buying from the same place. Let's buy these together. Takes price down a little bit.
Now the
right?
Tattoo Inc. team monopolizes everything and they own it all and they rise up.
I don't know about I don't think Monopoly's totally taken it. I don't think that's happened yet. I could not prove
Yet.
to you. Okay, we'll go off topic real quick.
All right.
Yet equals
Uh-huh.
a probably publicly traded company coming in and buying like two major groups
Yeah.
that has the capacity to say we are faced with X of regulations, and we feel that this would be a really good move. We would like to acquire this entire thing, maybe two groups, put them together,
Yeah.
and then it's like maybe it's like Revlon or L'Oreal or something that already kind of operates in that structure.
And Amazon buys Revlon and L'Oreal, and then now Amazon owns tattooing.
I mean, yeah. Like if okay, so
I like this. This is fun.
that could potentially happen, but it'll happen more for the PMU stuff because that's kind of like a growing market,
That makes sense.
right? And
Yeah.
tattooing would become like maybe like a spinoff.
And the permanent makeup is a little bit more respectable, a little bit more like it feels.
You definitely the permanent makeup thing has less of a no and more of a yes from all contributing factors.
Yep.
Whereas tattooing is like an actual, and I don't want to say like permanent cosmetics is not a craft. Like, yeah, it takes skill to do all that.
Yeah, totally.
But it's different. They're totally separate things.
It's just a different genre.
Totally.
Totally different genre.
Totally different genre. I mean, someone's getting stabbed in
Yeah.
that standoff.
Yeah.
And it's not tattooers,
Yeah.
you know? Hopefully. I hope so. I mean, fuck, I kind of like tattooing being dangerous. Like, I want it to be dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, let's make tattooing dangerous again. What is that? It's like mega, but it's like, let's make tattooing dangerous again.
Yeah.
I will get those hats made. Yeah, that's a good hat. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Sick ass hat.
Like, make tattooing minimums 100 again.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's happening.
I saw one that was make asada burritos $5 again. That one I want. You don't eat asada, but because your asada burrito would probably
It'd be fucking
like
$12.
$13.
Yeah, for sure. I'm getting fucked for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's vegan. It's totally okay. No judgment. What the fuck was I talking about?
So Revlon, L'Oreal.
That could happen. Like, it definitely could happen.
Right.
Okay, this is the good news.
All right.
Like, the corporate takeover, I guess you could call it, of tattooing, it can't actually happen because we're such assholes. That's the good part. Like, for me, like, I was in this thing for like 5 years and I had a lot of money invested and I was getting paid, and like I had like a lot of different things that were like kind of like pulling me around, and part of why I kind of got exiled a lot of times while I was there. Thought I was gonna burp. Because I was like, no, man, like, this is tattooing and what you're doing is like stupid, right? Let's bring it back to tattoo.
Are you the only tattooer involved in that tattoo industry at that time? Like on the
No,
there's
there
some
was
people in there?
others. There was other founders involved. I mean, they always had like a pro team or whatever. Like, but it's not what you think. Like,
they got some mascots in there.
yeah, it's not what you think. It's not like people come in and like, you know, testing things out and like really wanting to like understand and like work and collaborate. Totally, it's not like that at all. It's, at least from my experience, like I didn't see that at all. Right?
No, it's more or less like, hey, we made this pen. We made this pen pink. It's our signature model. Sell these before people figure out it's the same thing.
Well,
but just
that's
pink.
kind of happening right now. I won't go like super into it, but like
People could figure that out pretty quick.
well, they're having an issue right now because, like I said, we're fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's a good thing. Like, we are artists. Like, I used to go in and I say, look, just make it a really bitchin' art store. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
And they're like, but why? I'm like, because when you walk into a fucking awesome, slicked out bitchin' art store, and you run around like a dum-dum, you spend a lot of money, which is part of the thing. Like, you want to.
Right.
You want to get really cool art supplies. Like, when you go into Dick Blick or something like that, now
I buy all kinds of shit I don't need all the time. A paper and everything. Yeah, I'm excited.
but there was a time where it was better.
Yeah.
Like, now it's kind of like you got to go to Michael's or one of these big things that got bought out, and like go to an art store that's been there for a long time. Like, you know, like one that's got all the good stuff that you can't really find.
We have this one in Riverside called Urge Palette, and if you want or need anything, they ask you, they write it down.
Yep.
They'll take your number down, and they'll have your thing in stock.
That's the way.
And that store reflects the community that's within, and it carries stuff that you can't really get anywhere else.
That's how a tattoo supply company should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be some homogenized piece of shit. Because guess what? If the supplier is a homogenized, just stupid place that sells to anybody, what do you think will happen to the industry it serves? Just think about it. It becomes a homogenized, stupid thing. So that's
what's happened.
That's why you gotta like just get your grit back, man. Like, say no, question stuff. Like, where does this come from? Or like, am I just buying this for the price? Or like, you know, if I hate to say this on air because it could happen. I hope it doesn't.
Right.
But if we all started buying all of our shit from Amazon, what the fuck would happen? Have you ever watched Idiocracy?
Of course.
That shit will fucking happen if we let
People wear Crocs now.
Yeah. And they were a small little company.
Maybe it's happening. Oh,
I know, because I know the guy that used to be the CEO of Crocs. Because guess what?
Oh, no. Yeah, I know.
He's actually a very nice guy.
Yeah.
I like him quite a bit. But and when I say like these people don't know about tattooing, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, like they just don't. Like, they're there for like a function, right?
Right.
But really at the end of the day, like you need people that care. Mm-hmm. Like, if I put people in my machine shop, right?
Right.
And I explained nothing to them, and I was like, put hole here, make thread there, sand this here, do that there. And like, they didn't like know me or like get into it. Mm-hmm. I would fire the shit out of them because they would just suck. Like, you've got to like breathe it in, you know? And plus, like, I don't know. I kind of think like, if you're going to be there, be there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And that's kind of how I view the whole thing. Like, and I've told some people that I know that are in, like in these big groups, like it's not that hard. Like, it's not that hard to like figure this out. Like, you need to serve the people.
Yeah.
Like, you supply them with a service. That service is to find good stuff. Sammy's Camera.
Yep.
They got good stuff.
Yep.
They've got a team of people finding the good stuff. You know? That should be a thing with a supply. You should go out and find good stuff. Like, you should have people like that are, if you don't have no industry person, you should get people that can at least pretend. Well, there's one that they have that's a total fucking liar, and she's a pretender, and she knows who she is, and she's a liar. And I found out. But yeah, like, just figure it out. But I don't think it can happen. I don't think it can totally work unless there's like full cooperation with people that really give a shit. You know, that's just my take on it. You know, like, I'm very happy where I'm at. I'm like building machines again. I'm able to like contribute to this thing that I've like, I have like my issues with it. Like, I did the thing, and for a long time I felt like, fuck, man, I fucked this up. Like, I had a really cool company, and plus my company, when they bought it, they killed it.
Yeah.
They fucking didn't give a fuck about it, man. Like, you can't, it's just.
But that might be, it might be, I don't know. I mean, this is like kind of like grass is greener, or like other side of looking at it. But they can't really produce a good coil machine, so they couldn't really disparage your name if you specialize in rotaries. I don't know. I feel like it would become massively successful in a depressing way.
Well, they have a rotary company, and that rotary company, I don't even know how they did it.
Because a big reason why rotaries are the thing is because you could just Lego them together, and you don't have to run them. There's no magic. Not all rotaries, but you know what I mean, one that spins.
Let me say, there is definitely, if you do it well, right, and everything should try to be done well.
Yeah.
If you do it well, it does take, it takes science. It's more repeatable. I'm not going to say it's less skill. It's just a different skill. But to have a big tattoo machine company, especially producing in America, which I think is really important. I'm not saying that it should only be made in America, but it should not be made in a factory in a different country that has no correlation to the brand whatsoever. So when the thing arrives,
like how disconnected can you get from this thing we call tattooing? You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
So having it in for domestically, and also, like, it could be made in Germany, it could be made wherever, it doesn't matter. But
sure,
as long as it's like, if there was like a person in China like that was like super in love with tattooing, like running the factory, it'd be a different story, right? But still, like, Chinese manufacturing is just different, you know. So, but I'm not going to even like go totally into that. Like, I think it should be made in the United States, especially if it's a United States product. I'm all about it though. I'm all about United States manufacturing. It's almost in parallel with what we're talking about. Like, our country, the United States, there's a lot of like bureaucracy and bullshit that can come into play, and we all get affected by it, right? If like we're in like a major deficit and inflation's fucking like just raging, like, we're all experiencing it. Like, eggs are expensive, all the stuff, right? I'm not gonna like get into a whole thing on it. It's just, we know it's there because we live it every day. It's gonna happen, you know. Same can be said for the business of tattooing. Like, if it goes into like a weird zone where there's people that don't care or don't know how to care, they might care. I mean, you know, you take a person that doesn't know about tattooing, they might care, like, ooh, cool, tattooing, my cousin's got a tattoo. Or like, I heard so many different things. It's like, oh, I got my ears pierced when I was like 10 or something, and like my family member has tattoos, so I speak your language. Like, that happened a lot.
Damn.
Like, people in charge said shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like, you can't, like, you don't speak my language. You don't know the language. You don't even understand like how to put the fucking sentence together. You don't speak it. Like, just because you go to a tattoo convention and you run around with with a brand new hat that's still got the sticker on it or whatever, like you just, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. So really, my heed to all tattoo artists that hear this, just, what is it? My dad used to say, inspect what you expect. So like, if you expect cool products, inspect that you're getting from the right place. I'm not going to say like, if it's a tattooer run company, it's perfect, but there's definitely going to be something there, you know, like, you know, you have a tattoo needle company. Like, you can't make your needles. Like, nobody's going to sit here and make needles in America until I do it. And it's going to be fully automated. Wink. But like, they're gonna be made in a different country. Like, now there is some really high quality ones. Yours are nice. I've used them. They're nice. I've inspected them. It can be done. Like, but it would be better if it was done here.
Yeah.
Because now you've got like,
you got the
just
control.
Like,
you
so
have
much
your eye
connection.
on it.
You know, like
Absolutely.
so much connection. Like, imagine tattooing, right? And then like, you find out like your ink was made in China. Like
Right.
it just kind of gives you like a weird hollow feeling. You're like, oh shit. Like you're not going to feed your dog a treat that was made in China, because we all know that dogs die from treats made in China.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just better that it's closer, especially something like that that's going to go inside of a body, or like have like some kind of like strict standardization. There should be like major control over it.
Totally.
And I don't know, we can like bop around a lot about all of this stuff, but the number one main thing is just like, well, idea just popped in my head. We used to have catalogs and like tactile things and like ways of ordering products, whether they were like consumable or not, or like you would buy like your machines in a convention because you could like touch them first.
Totally.
I have an e-commerce business, and I think it's great. I think we've kind of like been separated from some of this stuff. I think bring catalogs back. I'm going to. People should bring catalogs back. People should like just be curious. Like be curious about your supplies. Like I remember like either going to a convention or getting tattoos by somebody and wondering like what pigment they use, because I admired their craft, like the application of the tattoo. Like how did that person get that? Or like going to an art show and seeing like a sheet of flash on the wall that's like a modern contemporary piece, but you like look at it and you're like, ooh, wow, that's nice. Like I wonder what color they used, or like what paper is that? These are questions. Like these are kind of interesting things. Like, do you think that tattoo artists still think about that, or do you think that it's just like
They still think about it, but they don't have to think that hard because it's written in the hashtags or in the @ or it's in their or it's in their tagged photos or whatever. People are constantly thinking about that. They just don't have to search as hard for it.
yeah.
You know? It's very surface level. You don't gotta want. You don't gotta think. It's all there.
So like I challenge tattoo artists to like think about those things. Like you're gonna get my autoclave, right? That's cool. You're gonna, use steel tubes, and that's really good. Like
Fuck yeah.
for anyone that hasn't used a steel tube, like a nice steel tube and a good needle will make tattooing great again. Like for sure. Like
Right.
dude, like if you haven't ever done it, like sad for you. It's so much better. And you can balance it. Like you can figure out a way for if you're got
It's
kind
like,
of like
you think tattooing you think fucking with a condom's cool.
Oh yeah. No.
Try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like red pilling it. Like for sure. Like you're like, God damn, like
Fully connected.
I am committed to get AIDS. I don't care. Like, no. No, but like like little things like that really contributes to the craft. Like the craft if the craft is stronger, I mean, that's even a marketing technique. Like you could say to your customer, like, I made these needles.
Yeah.
Like maybe that becomes popular. Maybe, consumers of tattooing want to like go to somebody that gets the needles made, or like, check out my wall of flash. I painted all of this flash, and
Totally.
like that's exciting and impressive.
Yeah.
And in fact, you can probably get somebody to want one of those designs much more from a hand painted flash than you could, just a non or a Pinterest or whatever. Like,
No, we do it all the time at the shop. Like, I'll explain to them, or we'll walk them back to the shop, and I'll show them, like, you see that acetate stencil, and that matches that Mike Malone production flash, and you see how that one's get dirty, and I'll explain the process, and I'll be like, these tattoos you think look cartoony, they're drawn simple to be scribed into that plastic, and they're made to be able to be tattooed if it wipes away, and because of these tools you have and these colors you have, that creates this look. This look is an art of limitation, and through that limitation, you get rid of all the bullshit, and you have a very recognizable, readable design. And I'll come and I'll walk them over to my production flash. Then I'll walk them over to my flash. Like, so that starts there.
Yeah.
I take that classic, redraw it. Boom. Now it's original. Now it's custom. Now it's modern today, but it's built on something important that's worth carrying
that
on.
education
and that like they're like there for it. They can't find it on their phone.
It's pumped.
Special.
They're pumped.
Yep.
They're
totally.
pumped, and that's how it should be, man. Like like I've got like all this stuff.
Even traditional tattoo shops. There's so many shops popping up right now,
yeah.
and the entire They have ring lights, Craftsman toolboxes, the same fucking floor, the same picture frame, the same. It's like it's coming full circle where I think the model of traditional tattoo shop, it was special, and then it became commonplace. Where Production Flash was like, everyone's got those sheets.
Yeah.
And then you go into the Miami Ink era of custom tattooing, right?
Yeah.
And then that becomes the norm, to where traditional becomes this subculture where it's like, whoa, they paint Flash.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's different, right? And now that's becoming so popular, it's kind of coming back around again, where it's like all these traditional fucking tattooers all talk, walk, look, sound, the shop's all the same.
What do they call it? Traddy daddy? It makes me mad.
So
and
now
punch.
it's like
I
I'm
wanna
trying to
punch.
find ways of like, okay, well, my new shop has actual steel case desks, and my
Yeah,
other shop
cool.
has actual Hamilton, medical cabinets. It looks like it's from the 50s.
Yeah.
It fucking is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's good though. Like if you create it and it's fucking cool, like you're gonna get people that want that.
Yeah.
Like you can. Some people call it train your audience, or train your clientele. You're not training them. You're just educating them,
Making them aware of
and
it.
you're educating,
Yeah.
and you're transferring that passion.
Yeah.
Right. I can do it. I mean, I can give you a tour of the shop. If you don't want to get a tattoo, you want to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take somebody in the Iron Factory, explain
Well, it's like
it.
no one's
They're-
gonna
they're
know
like-
why this thing's special. You have to show them.
They don't have any tattoos. They have no idea about tattoo culture. They're standing there with their hair standing, standing up on their arms. And now all of a sudden, like, tattoos become like a little bit more attainable, or like their mind has changed a little bit because it's special. Like, it's a special thing. Like, and that passion that we as tattooers can give, like, that's how you kind of defeat some of this stuff. Like, it's an enemy. Like, it's an enemy. It's a nameless enemy though. Like, I can't sit there and point right. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. Like, I can definitely give you like a few clues, but
Cryptic clues, no literal points.
there are a few people that actually don't like it, like, and they think they're better than it. And I know those people, and they know who they'll watch it. Don't worry, they know.
I think, as you said, I think tattooing is special, and I think you have to really
think it's fucking special.
You have to. What I'm saying is, you have to. People. It's becoming. It is what you make of it, and it's like if it's just whatever, then the tattooer is whatever, the clientele is whatever, the supplier is whatever, this is whatever. That genre of tattooing is whatever, but it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't. No.
And for me, it's not.
You
Like,
can be super excited about it. I mean, fuck, your leg's broken. You're still excited about it.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Every day to wake up, right, and be a tattooer, you should just be fucking excited. Even if it's slow right now, just fucking be real. Be real. It's coming back. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
It is coming back. It's not that it's gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And when I say it's coming back, that doesn't mean that, like, I don't know how to explain that.
I look
fully,
at it
but
like if tattooing.
it's there. You can go get it. Like, it's there.
Here's the niche. So if this like genre of tattooing is old school and everything is becoming so much more like consumable and easy and whatever, like I want to go the opposite route. You could buy your fucking ring light. Like, I'm gonna keep my old lamp. You can buy your tubes. I'm gonna have the metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your
You
machines
can
are quiet.
save
Mine
so
are
much
fucking
money.
loud.
I should start the tattoo doge.
Yeah.
You don't need all that stuff.
But
I'm telling you right now.
But I'm saying it's like, if it can become a niche within itself, where it's like, if every tattoo shop looks the same, and you walk in my shop and you're like, there's something different about this one, this one, this is different than the last three I walked into. And that's the thing. If tattooing is growing immensely and you want to stand out, then don't fucking blend in. And don't just buy in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, create this thing,
Yeah. Yeah, you can create it.
Some of these creators are just fucking consumers. That's the problem. They're not actually creating. They're just consuming. They're buying everything. Like, it's just like,
I look at some of the like the YouTubes and stuff, and like there's some like kind of cool ones out there. There's like more podcasts, I think, than like YouTube channels or whatever. But like we talked when we first talked on the phone about piercers, right?
yeah,
And like piercers and tattooers are like dogs and cats, right? Like,
yeah,
you have to, you know about dogs and cats. They're always talked about together, right? But they're not together.
right.
Just because we figured it out in the 90s, you could make a lot of money off piercing and tattooing.
Right.
I won't go into that. But
But
I'm way cooler about piercers now, but
tattooers could stand to be a little bit more like piercers, and it probably help tattooing a lot more.
Fucking 100%. I was actually just talking to my friend I reconnected
because if tattooers consumed the way piercers consumed, tattoo products would be better.
Okay.
Tattoo supply.
So this dude that owns Pote Sailors, this shop that Pote Sailor started called Body Electric on Melrose.
Mm-hmm.
Rad dude. He's a piercer. It's like a really good piercer, and he one thing I always notice about him. He's a former Marine, which is fucking awesome in my book. You know, like I love armed services. You know, like I'm all about like all of that stuff. So I always have like a camaraderie with that, right? But yeah, man, like I would go and work there. So like I got to spend time with him. Guy's really cool. I'm really excited to actually go reconnect with him and stuff. It's been a long, probably 10 plus, no, more than that, 15 years maybe.
Piercing,
yeah. No, I'm talking about piercing, but it takes a minute to get there.
Yeah.
I take the fucking scenic route.
I want to get there.
I know. So, so what we're talking about with piercing, but the one thing that I recognized about him was like a piercer's tools are really important.
Yes.
And I love that about the piercing community.
Yeah.
You know, and they like reject shitty things. I don't know if it's like as prevalent in piercing as it once was. I think there's probably a lot of shysters trying to get into piercing too. I know one of them.
Yeah.
I know he who should not be named. But like but for good piercing like jewelry or like tools, that shit's fucking cool, man. Like that is like you rely so heavily on that, you know, like and I always realized that like a good piercer really loved their tools. I'm not saying that tattooers totally lack that, but you it's just like you can tell it, like you can sense it from a piercer. And
piercers know exactly what metal they're piercing with. Tattooers don't even know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I know.
It's different.
It's like almost like this nerd quality that like actually really exists in tattooing. Like really exists. Like we're fucking nerds. Like we're cool too because you got to be cool.
Maybe tattooers are dorks and piercers are nerds.
Yeah, probably something like that. But like, you know, there's a great group of tattooers out there that like really are like hardcore about their machines, and like
for sure
I love that stuff. You know, I hear about it, and you know I love hearing about that, and like that's the great part of tattooing. Like if you look at tattooing, like the 100 years of tattooing, more okay,
in our recent history.
Let's go off of almost 100 years off the 1929 Percy Waters patent.
I like that.
So we're coming up on that.
Yeah.
Because that's the twin coil. There was a few twin coils before that, but that's the patent. Like we should actually have a party. Like that'd
be sick.
We should do that, right? But like that's 100 years of that tool, the twin coil machine that we all know and love.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100 years, man. 100 years that fucking tool has been laying it down. And you're not gonna tattoo with anything better than that. Like you're just not. If it's tuned up right, it's made out of the right material and stuff, you're not going to find a device that's self-regulating that's better than that design.
Right.
Period. Even if it breaks and you can't fix it, you know, you figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, learn how to. Yeah. Have you seen that episode of South Park when they go to kill Walmart?
No.
So I'm gonna give it away. Spoiler alert. 10-year-old fucking South Park episode. So Walmart opens up in their town and the bicycle shop goes out of business, and the guy that owned the bicycle shop now works in the bicycle department, right? All these businesses go out of business. Walmart is there. The parents, they don't see it. They're disillusioned. They're excited. They go to Walmart to buy one screwdriver. There's a pack of 6 for $5. Fuck it. He bought 2 boxes, right? He didn't need 2 boxes. I have all the screwdrivers now. The kids see obviously a problem with this, and they need to get to the heart of Walmart to destroy Walmart. So as they get further and deeper in the store and in the deep catacombs of the store and whatnot, they end up They get to the end, and as they get through, these employees like hang themselves and shit their pants, and then fucking they go, yeah, classic South Park, right? So when they get to the very end, the heart of Walmart, they open a door and it's a mirror. And the heart of Walmart is you. You're the fucking consumer.
Dude.
You're why it exists. They burn down Walmart,
Yeah.
and the parents become all of a sudden awakened, like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Shit their
Happy
pants and
ending.
hang themselves.
Next day, Walmart's back and the parents are shopping again.
Yeah, totally. No, there's a lot of truth to that. Okay, the thing that hurts tattooing is not the entity. The thing that hurts tattooing is the entity doesn't have the same alignment with values as a tattooer, as the end user.
Yeah.
So if somebody's selling to anybody and it becomes extremely accessible, that's where you see other people that, even if they look at it as a hobby, if somebody gets into tattooing for a 2-year hobby, that's costing somebody else's company money. You know? And if they don't know what they're doing, you know, or they're putting bad tattoos on people because they were empowered by Walmart, you know, you're right. It is the mirror. It 100%. Like, we are supporting it.
Yeah.
You know, if you buy, even if you buy from the smaller ones, like, they buy from the bigger ones. You know, like, you have to just, like, do your homework.
I know
It's kind of a pain in the ass.
I know
but
good tattooers right now, I would say respectable colleagues who have no issue buying bootlegs of machines that my friend made for $20, and they don't see a problem with it, because to them it's just it's a flash in the pan, short game, whatever.
But guess what? I have a message to that mindset. Maybe it doesn't matter now, but it will matter eventually.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter to you now, if you think that you're tattooing for a career, you're not like a Michael's tattooer where you're going to come in for a 2-year hobby.
Right.
It's going to affect you. It's going to affect you. Period, man.
We should call this episode Hobby Tattoo Town. Or like, what do you think? What do you think
No, this episode should just say, do you actually care about tattooing?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And it is the mirror. Like, the thing that you said about South Park, that is it. 100%.
Yeah.
You know, mostly there's a bunch of scratchers in that mirror, but
yeah,
it is the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's like you point fingers both directions and be right both times.
But like, and then another thing maybe we can touch on next time too, because I find this like quite interesting, right? Like this hot scratcher person and like this movement that this person's doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to have empathy for people, right?
Right.
You want to like empathize with them and say like, yeah, like this thing, it's like we're in like a free country. So why couldn't someone just, you know, pick up a deal, you know, a 125 Temu special and just start blasting away, you know, like, and I like think about these people. Oh yeah, they're real sad, you know, like they hit a gatekeeper, or like they asked to like, you know, join a shop or whatever, and they wanted like maybe instant gratification. I think that's really what it is. They want more of an instant gratification, and they want it now, and they're not gonna listen to someone that has been in it, that knows the rules. Say to them like, hey, you can't come in, you know, or you have to do this thing before you come in.
Well, if there's like, people are always going to take the path of least resistance, right? Like, it may be more commendable to learn and earn, but hey, here's a really easy, quick, whatever. You don't really know anything whatsoever. This is an easy way in, holds no value either way. You're just a hobbyist. Like, why wouldn't they?
But do you think that, I forgot, how old are you?
Because we can.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, so yeah, so you're like,
But we
10,
can
you're
look,
10 years younger than me. So
we
you're
can
not
look back, but you can't look back when you're like fresh-eyed.
But this is a good question for you, because when I was getting into tattooing, I didn't have like what you would call an apprenticeship.
Right.
Like I wanted in, and I was going to get in.
Yeah.
And but the thing that I had that probably separates is I know what respect is. Like I don't just say I know what respect is. Like I actually know what the fuck respect.
Right.
I know how it feels.
Right.
Like physically, I know what it feels like to earn a consequence.
Yeah, of
to
course.
fuck around and find out. I know what it is.
Yeah.
I wonder if this younger generation, they just know what fuck around and find out sounds like, but do they know what it feels like? You know? So maybe there's something to look at there. Like you say you know what respect is. Like I could ask AI right now, ChatGPT, it'll tell me what respect is. But that fucking thing doesn't know what respect really is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a difference there.
Yeah, maybe. I just think, I don't know, you make something easier and cheaper, consequently it's less valuable. And if it's less valuable and then the person values it less, it doesn't mean as much.
But are we talking about purely monetary, or are we talking about all encompassing things about value? Because
I think both go hand in hand, really. I mean, like even so much
value is psychosomatic, by the way.
Yeah, but like,
listen to the podcast and then think about, if you couldn't buy your supplies, could you make the essentials to still tattoo? If your machine breaks, can you fix it and pick it back up and tattoo?
Because that's what makes a tattooer. That's the difference.
So if you can't do that, you have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to do that.
You made it through. You're a legend. In the comments below, if you made it through and you're a real one, let me know. Write a comment and say, I care about tattooing. And that will let me know that the message hit, that you listened, and you want more of it. Yeah. Thank you for listening. If you're watching, thank you for watching. And if you want to support Brandon, buy some machines. All of his info is going to be in the description below. If you like me and you want to get tattooed, there you go. If you want to rip my flash, buy a book. If you want to make some tats fast, buy some needles. If you want a combo that's made to kill, get my needles with one of my books and bang it out with one of Brandon's machines. There you go. That is the industry. You and me. Doesn't got to be this big mysterious thing. You can use tools from the people you know, and that's a start. All right. See you in the next episode.